Are you actually facing difficulties deploying a Django application or putting that your Django code you wrote on your local computer so it can be on the cloud or it can be in production? That's actually why I'm here today. I'm here to help you out quickly deploy a Django application to AWS. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, I'm Steve Yonke, backend and cloud engineer, and I'm here to help you out through your software engineering journey. So stay tuned and let's see. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually wrote a blog post concerning deployment of a Django application to AWS. We have two methods that we can actually use. Either we deploy on an app runner or we deploy on an EC2 instance. So the architecture with an app runner now is quite complex and also it's expensive. Yeah, I actually know about that. When it comes to budgeting when you're on the cloud, it's very important for you to quickly consider that. Whereas when you're working on an EC2, you personally configure your stuff and everything works fine. The difference between deploying on an EC2 instance and an app runner, when it comes to the price, the app runner is more expensive basically because AWS will be giving you resources which they are the ones managing. So they give you the possibility to focus more on your code and less on the deployment section. Everything is being automated. But since we are curious people here, we go ahead and deploy on our own server, on our own virtual machine. For this particular tutorial, we use Ubuntu, and a link to the particular blog post which I have written concerning this will be dropped in the comment section. So let's get our hands dirty. Alright, so as I was previously saying, this is the blog post which we are actually supposed to work on this particular tutorial. Deploying a Django app is either you deploy on an EC2 instance. There are actually many choices, but I prefer to use these two, EC2 instance or an app runner. Let's go straight to the EC2 section. I'll just reload the page to be able to access it. Okay, since I'm not able to tag that particular section, but we'll just go right straight down to a particular section. Cool, this is where the deal starts. So I've already created an EC2 instance, and this tutorial is not only about EC2 instance, but it also works perfectly with any cloud provider virtual machine. So different cloud providers, they have different callings for their virtual machines. Us for this particular one, we'll be using an EC2 instance from AWS. Let's move on. So I will go ahead now and log in on my EC2 instance. And before we continue, all resources that are being used on this particular project will be discarded at the end. So don't go and try an IP address thinking maybe it might work, or I don't really know, but all the resources will actually be deleted. It's just for learning purpose. So this is me. Let me log into my machine. I feel like I have to zoom this thing out. Let me clear up my terminal. So as we can see, there's actually nothing here. So we'll move from scratch. We'll create a Django project. From the Django project, we actually set up a CI/CD that will be working with GitHub workflows, and we do the configuration. So far, let's first just try if we properly created our EC2 instance, and Nginx should normally be working if everything is fine. And I'll also be doing a caching. We already have a particular project for this, and everything is also found there. As you see, I just did a copy and paste, nothing much, and let the magic happen. So basically, why it's happening, let me just explain. We just update the computer, update and upgrade the dependencies and the libraries. We install the Python library, and we also install Nginx. This skill will help us later on. We will also install the Redis server. Redis is basically a message broker, which we will actually be using on this project. We do have a couple of other things we will basically include on this project. While the deployment is actually going on, let me just explain a couple of things. So we'll be having supervisor. Supervisor will basically be the process to control all our system, to start and stop our Django application, and even our Celery we're using the Redis as a broker. We have the Redis, I already mentioned, it's a message broker and a rate data processing. It's also used for caching as well. So the more your Django application gets complex, the more you get used to most of these things. The Unicorn will basically be to deploy our Django application. It's usually common a lot with Python applications. So the thing now with Unicorn is that it will help us manage concurrency, and we'll be able to deploy as many instances, or to make available as many concurrent instances of our particular Django application, which will be available for all the users. And then we also have Nginx. Nginx which is for performance of a web server, and is just for configuration of the reverse proxy. And for those who will stay up to the end of the video, by the end of this video, we'll be having a setbot configuration. We'll configure a domain name SSL with setbot as quick as fast as possible. I will just show you guys the quick steps behind it. All right, let's check the progress of our. Okay, we have failed to enable Uni, refusing to operate Redis service. Okay, I think this is fine. Redis CLI. Let me test if it's working. Ping pong. That's cool. So it's working. That's what's basically it. All right, let's clear up our terminal. So normally, if we try now accessing this our computer IP address, we should normally have it. Okay. We should normally be able to access the Nginx server here. So this is a good sign that we have perfectly configured our Nginx. So left out now for the other proxy, and we have to point out Nginx to port 8000. So what Nginx will basically be doing is that Nginx will be reading from port 8000 and pushing to port 80. By default, when you see a domain name like this one or an IP address, there is a port 80 behind it, but you can't actually see it. If I enter it, you see it redirects it again here. So we will actually make use of that port 80, and Nginx will basically be the one that will be handling it. And yeah, it's not usually advisable to be running Unicorn at port 80 for some reasons. So Nginx will basically handle the load balancing and a couple of other things. Okay, so we basically use this repository. It's also found on the tutorial as well. You can get the link just here. That's the dev branch of the repository that we use for this tutorial. So the main branch is for an app runner, and this particular branch is for an EC2 instance. Okay, so we then go to this particular repository. What you have to do is that you create a fork of the repository. So since I'm already having this particular name, I'll just say copy. Yeah, I will only copy the main branch, because the branch I want here is the dev branch. I just added a little copy there just to change it up, and I will uncheck this particular section since I want to have access to the dev branch. And I move ahead now and I create a fork. It's taking some time. I don't know, but it seems like network is already the best this evening. Okay, so I will basically collect the SSH link to be using on my computer. Um, so I'm using a couple of things here, but don't worry about it. I'm actually using Ubuntu. But that's not really our point of focus here. It works as well on Windows. By the way, I'm also on Windows, so it's taking its time. All right, so let me cd to my personal project. Git clone. AWS Django tuto 1. Let me just give it that particular name. This one I will just call it .me. And let's be patient. It will take its time. So for the SSH configuration, I'm using different GitHub accounts on my computer. So that will also be another tutorial which I will teach you guys how to do that exactly. I quickly move ahead and cd into my repo. I can open it with VS Code. We now have our VS Code instance opened. Okay. Very quickly, we'll open our terminal. Let me find my correct interface. So whenever you're working on a Django project or a Python-related project, it's always good to be having all of your environment set up on a particular region. I mean, in a particular virtual environment. So what I will do now is that I will check out to my dev branch. Then I can now delete my main branch. Please, that's really not advisable. And I will rename my dev branch to main. So this project now, the main branch now is the previous one, dev. Okay, so I can now move ahead now and create my virtual environment. All these extensions. Okay, cool. I can now activate it. For Windows users, the commands is actually different. You just need to navigate up to the path where you'll be having the activate file. So for Windows, here we are having VNV still, but bin is being replaced by scripts with capital S. Okay, so we can now proceed. Let me close this release not so. We can now proceed first by pip installing our requirements.txt file. We install all the requirements found in this particular file. Let's open it and see what's going on. So we have Celery, we have Buto from AWS. We have Redis, Python.env, Pretty Table, Unicorn, Fabric. Let's just be a little bit patient. Let the installation be done. I'll be back when it will actually be done. Seems like the packages are almost done installing. Just left out a few steps. Cool. We are good to go, so I can try now to start my server. So there is this start script. This start script will basically have we basically have our activation for our virtual environment, because when we deploy, we'll actually be in the virtual environment. But since we are working locally, let's use our famous Python commands. Python manager py run server. And let's see how it goes. This is cool. Let's open it up. Oh, this is good. So an issue with the env file. So I have to actually make a replicate of it. Let's open it and see what is found inside. Nothing much. Let me do a copy of it. Okay. So the secret here, this is a secret. Normally it's supposed to be great algorithm, but no time for that one now. Debug tool. Celery broker URL. I'll be using Redis. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 is just the local host that I'm using. 6, 3, 7, 9. Oh, the port 6, 3, 7. Okay. Let me copy some here. So I actually have Redis already installed on my computer to be running locally. So you see the port actually matches. Just to see, my ping pong has also worked here, like we did in the virtual environment a while ago. Let me try running it again. And let's see. Oh, sounds good. A little refresh. Hello world, your app is running. So let me go and check the routes and see what is going on. What's going on here? Okay, we have at. So the at will basically be what to be a proof that okay, it's like this, our celery is running. Let me proceed and add. No module Redis found. Okay, that's coming from the URL. Oh, it's supposed to be a protocol. You know, like we have HTTP, HTTPS, WebSocket. Redis also as well uses its own protocol. A quick restart of our server. Good, we have a tax ID, so our Redis is perfectly working. All right, so what we do now is that we need to have this application online. We need it to be pushed online. Let's open a couple of files for some quick explanation. So this is our concern here, push to EC2. I don't need all these for now. So we have two sections. We have a deploy and a build project section with a couple of secrets here. The secrets will basically be configured on GitHub. I will just show you guys how to do one, and the rest I'll be doing it off camera. Okay, so let's proceed. Yeah, we go here, we go to settings. We go to secrets and variables, actions, repository secrets. So the username, for instance, for this one is Congo2. I'll be right back when all the other environment variables will be set, but this is okay, so we're back. I'm done setting up my environment variables. So this is the deploy key, basically the SSH key. Please, the variables can have the name you want them to have, but be sure that whatever name you're choosing should match what is found in this workflow file. So let me explain the workflow file. Normally, yeah, we can actually use this. We can make use of this particular variable just to make it somehow reusable. We have this cd source virtual environment, activate, pip install requirements, supervisor read, supervisor update, restart all. Okay, let's move now to our virtual environment to do the different configuration, and let's prepare for it receiving our application. So since we're having the repository name here, let's just go and create a directory with the repository name. So this is our IP address. Let me quickly get the repo name. The repo name is up here, AWS copy. Okay, I'll go even get it here. I think that's fine. Oh, seems like I actually lost access to the VM. Let me quickly log in back. Keep let me get to the user, the IP address. Okay. Magic time. Why is it taking long? I guess this should be network. Cool. Network is not really the best today. Okay, we can make the directory. Oh, damn. Okay. AWS Django copy. We have our directory. We enter inside our directory. Oh. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So inside the directory now, let's first understand what's happening here. We need the particular directory, so our offload will be able to see inside the directory, activate the virtual environment. So let's complete that step and create our virtual environment. Python 3 should be working. Python 3 mvenv venv2. Okay, left out this dependency. Sometimes you might require this dependency, sometimes you can just move ahead and install virtual env, but it will actually be a different command that you will be running if you want to install that particular one. Let's quickly get done with this. Okay, let's move back to this particular command, Python 3 venv. If I ls into this directory, you will see we are having a virtual environment file. So I cannot activate my virtual environment. Source venv in activate. I need to be sure everything is perfectly working fine. So our virtual environment is actually active. We don't have yet our requirement.txt file. It will be coming for this repository when the pipeline will be launched. We should also change the branch name here to main, since we are actually on the main branch, and we'll be pushing it to the main. Last checks on here. So let's get in on our virtual machine and do a couple of configurations. So this actually this will work on any environment where you find yourself. This, as we already know, this is a proof that our virtual environment had Nginx successfully installed. Let's go to our blog post, and I need my terminal here. Let me do a quick split of my screen. Okay. All right. So we already reached this step. Instead of using this our Python, we could also use this one as I previously mentioned. We do this. Our gun icon, the unicorn will actually come with the requirement.txt, so that's not really a big deal. I need to okay, I need to create this directory. But remember, we have a slash copy here. Yes, so that will actually be where our logs will be written. So we'll be having some particular files to be logging or to be to be providing logs for our platform. Okay, so here it is. After I'm done with this particular copy, I can now move to this section. So this one will basically be me creating I think I need a notepad interface here to help me or to assist me in doing a few things. So okay, I will go ahead and replace all the AWS Django which I'm finding here. Replace, good. I'm going to actually replace it with this. Replace all. Okay. I don't even have this particular process running, so as you can see, he has to move to a particular directory, and he has to go to my scheduler. So you also replace this one with the name of your Django project. I've not changed anything on the project, so I don't really need to also change anything at that level. And we good to go for that one. Let's move to the next one. This will basically be celery. We still repeat the same thing. We replace all. Oh, this is I just love this blend that actually exists between Ubuntu and having Windows. I think you guys should actually try the WSL. It's really a cool thing. So I will not be running all these ones for now. Since I don't even have anything here, so I will be going ahead to configure my release. My Nginx, sorry, my bad. This one should be my IP address. This is for security purpose. When you also have a domain name, you can move ahead. You can move to be using that one too. Back to my tutorial. Okay. Let me wipe this couple of things. Okay, I should have a dot here. Quick check. Let me just add copy here. I don't know, but I always love when my names are just so uniform. It actually helps me a lot, and I guess it will also help you guys. So don't mind that the terminal is printing out a lot. I'm just echoing, and I'm also creating that file in a particular directory. I could still use nano, but I'm just using echo for the sake of doing things quickly. Let me have this. Our famous replace. We replace all.
yeah, there were a couple of things there that needed replacement. We reload our engines. On normal circumstances, your engine should normally show server error or so. And the next service fails to restore because the process exceeded, blah blah blah. Exactly what I was talking about. So we basically do this configuration and we test our Nginx server. Okay, Nginx is still telling us welcome. I guess it's not yet aware of what just happened. Okay, so what's next is we just go and write a little commit message. Git commit. I'm just getting everything running right now. Pushing to production. And git push. And let's observe and see how exactly the magic happened. The code was push. Let's move to GitHub Actions. Oh, I don't understand why. Okay. Damn, this we're actually supposed to be deleting this one, or maybe putting another branch name. Oh damn, this is it code cleanup. Yeah, this one should normally fill. The app runner should normally fill. So that is that is really not my concern. It's really not a big issue on my end. I know why it actually failed, but why did this one now fail? Let's check the logs and see. So it logged into the server, and okay, we did not install supervisor. Wow. Seems like we missed it right from the top. Supervisor, this is it. Oh, we did not install supervisor. Once install, I think we just need to restart back this workflow file and restart the jobs that fail. Let's exercise some patience. And our deployment is up and running. First section is done. Okay. Let's reload the build section. Oh, this is really great. We are having these two. That means the two are actually successful. Let's reload. Oh, damn. Okay. I don't really know what can be the issue, but let's look into it. So I think you gotta remember I was talking about some log files which we created at the beginning. Let's have a quick inspection on them. Um, just check the blog posts. Here they are. Okay. All right. I don't think we need VS Code again at this particular level. CD. Okay, we actually had a copy at the end. Okay, let's have a look. no log files were actually returned, so we had no logs. Let's restart our Nginx and see what will actually happen. Okay, Nginx is successful. Nginx is started. Okay, this is at least a different error. So errors are not always considered bad. A different error can actually be something positive. Let's try to have a look at what is going on. To restart the supervisor. Okay, let's see how it goes. Config updated to the process. Stop started. This is a successful. Okay, as you can see, we actually having our application perfectly running. If we go to app, hopefully works. Good, our task is actually working. All right, so as I previously mentioned, for those who actually want to configure, for those who actually want to configure the process to be working on their domain and having a setbot install, all you have to do is just sudo setbot nginx. So you have to run a couple of commands. I don't want to do it right now, so I'll just show you guys a few commands you have to run. We have this, followed by this one too, and this one for auto renewal. Yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. Yes, and we have deployed our application successfully. And remember, all the resources used on this project will be discarded by the end. So thank you, and follow me, subscribe for more tutorials like this one.